Can y'all hear me?
Word.
I am a poet, and I'm about to go in. And I'm concerned with how you feel about the way I present it. I'm laying these bricks on this pavement, so I'm determining how the story is built. It's how I'm feeling it and how I wrote it. With every letter I place together to create these words, which are required to be heard, so listen. When I learned this game with words, no one informed me of a certain way I was required to write it, so I assumed the same applied to how I spit it. I'm a poet. I write monuments on historical importance and leave them there to be consumed by the universe and then reversed in the minds of those who chose to seek poetry and categorize. And by eyes that wanted to see what they didn't expect to, but if that's too deep for your taste, then I can switch it up for you and give it to you in a way that is viewed by the world. It's how all poets speak. See, we should talk like this and pause for no particular reasons. We should wear clothes that don't match and speak on the philosophies of the world. But in actuality, my friends, I don't get inspired by big hills and rolling skies. I get inspired by 5-inch heels that go on sale. And then I'll give it to you like this. My hips and lower back dips, fingertips on my skin create moisture between my thighs. Calf muscles flex every time I step. It doesn't need to be complex. It most certainly doesn't have to be compared to. What I do is not what someone else would do, so don't get the two misconstrued. Styles of poetry reflect the message that is presented. Sometimes it just needs to be slowed down. And sometimes it needs to be quick form. There's no norm to how we do this. You just need to understand and receive it, but it has to be said and witnessed. We are poets. We write monuments and freeze moments using vibrational wave patterns, hieroglyphics on spines, slicing through lines with pens, blue fingertips on skins. We are cold as ice. Remembering what was once forgotten, we have made the choice. So cease that noise and listen to our voice. She was emotionally confused. Abused as a child, her first experience with sex was a mess. So she was the best at being the first to get dressed and leaving without any feelings. She played this role well, but you couldn't tell by looking at her that she had been through too many men to count. Poker faced is how she stayed. She would just erase the memory as soon as she walked away and then repeat her release. He had been raised by nothing but women, forced to grow up before he knew what it was to be a man. Never given an example of a healthy relationship or the meaning behind commitment, too much to deal with. It was already hard enough to wear skin containing melanin, but to also be expected to carry the world on shoulders that have chips and scrapes and bruises due to the abuses of life just isn't right. She carried condoms in her purse, just in case she felt urges to forget the pain she faced every time she looked in the mirror. Looking at herself was harder than what she could deal with, so she covered up the fears with unshed tears and body parts. He carries rage that is released whenever he had the chance to think about his father never gave him the chance to become a proper man. So he plays with different ways to receive the love he yearns for. Gangbanger because it feels good to look up to someone, even if it is in the hood. He'd take that chance just to feel like a man. They fall in love for the first time, with no intentions to. He was missing pieces just like she. She could understand his addiction to that life because she was also addicted to a certain way. He could see through her tough demeanor, and to him, she was perfect. To her, he was worth every inch of her past because she knew if they both hadn't been through those things, and they couldn't be able to understand each other's pain. He couldn't relate, and she couldn't change. The things that we have been through are absolutely supposed to happen. It was written on walls of temples that you be you. No mistakes have been made. It is perfect, just as you are. Exactly who you are, with every flaw you possess, is without a doubt flawlessly planned. Your history holds keys to your destiny, which is predestined to be. So just let it be. Peace.